think the path that started it, well, the initial thing that started it all was I wanted to stay home with my baby. And I had suffered a major accident. And it left me in a wheelchair for months, and I had a brain hemorrhage. I had a lot of major things going wrong, and I had already previously known that I wanted to stay home and maybe take care of a few kids so that I had the opportunity to take care of my own. And it turned out to be something that I really loved. So we had left out of the country for 6 months, came back, and I immediately had my spots full. And I decided that at that time, it's like, well, either we go for it or we don't in regards to owning a center. We went ahead and 6 months after we got back, we went ahead and purchased a place. And it's been a nice journey. So now what I'm doing is I have dual role in my center. I am a teacher, but also a director, and I do have an administrator, somebody that kind of helps me with finance, the financial aspect of the program, which is my husband. I call him my CFO because he is kind of the guy that I have to go to if there's any budget needs or adjustments and stuff like that. But I do have a couple of roles here. I started looking into the administrator credential, especially because I knew that I would be owning a center at some point. I started looking into the credentials and the T.E.A.C.H program before I even thought, okay, we're doing this right now. And it was something that I knew I wanted. It was a next step for me. I filled up pretty quickly, and I had people waiting, and it just seemed like the bilingual aspect of my program was a very big need and want among the community. I definitely learned a lot. I think that my perspective of what I would be doing was a little different than what I am doing. I learned that we are interconnected with our communities and different aspects of not just ourselves here, and also how we relate to people that are different, that have different expectations. I think it broadened my view of what I do versus something just very straight. It kind of expanded it. I did a survey, and I got the feedback from the parents because I wanted to know what their thoughts were in certain aspects of the program. I never thought about doing a survey. I just kind of assumed what they wanted. If they were able to say it, then we felt comfortable with that. But a lot of them didn't say anything, and there was things that it made sense for them to finally say something, and it was written, and it was something that was concrete, and it just helped us serve them better. And then from that, I think we actually got a lot of referrals from them to other people, other clients, because they felt like their needs were being met and being heard. My project was research in bilingualism and its practical applications in my childcare program. My program kind of had been developing this project, I guess, for a long time because we had been running a bilingual program. We did do a little changes here and there, but I think a lot of what my project was doing research on how bilingualism really is beneficial for a lot of people, not just for Latin people. It's great for international reasons, for travel, for jobs, opportunities that you have. But I think in the realm of the children, I think that they develop all these connections from the moment they get they're exposed to the different languages, they're making all these connections, they're going to be there. So one day when they do leave here, if they don't use the Spanish for a long time, they'll eventually get something out of it because they have made those connections. And it makes a difference as to how well they can learn a new language, whether it might be Spanish or it might be French or it might be Portuguese, whatever they choose down the road. They have that ability to tap into those connections already. And that's kind of what my research project was, is to kind of justify why I'm doing this. And it was very beneficial for me because as a business owner and a teacher, you're always wondering, okay, am I doing this well? Why I'm doing it? And I think that I found why. I know that the children move on and they may not continue the Spanish afterwards, but I'm very confident that they'll eventually get something out of it down the road. The T.E.A.C.H program has really been a benefit for us. For me specifically, I think had it not been around, I probably would not have completed in the time that I did. It would have taken me a lot longer. I would have had all the excuses as everyone else does. I don't, the finances, I don't have the time. And T.E.A.C.H kind of took that away, and opened up the doors, and I really appreciate that. The T.E.A.C.H program as an employer has really benefited us because I am a supporter of education. I think that as teachers, and especially working with early childhood, we need to continue educating ourselves. It's ever changing. There's always something new, always something to learn. And I always tell my teachers that they should probably continue their education as well. As a matter of fact, we now have a few of our teachers being part of the T.E.A.C.H program, and they're benefiting from that as well. And so does the center, because once the teachers are more educated, it's better for the center. We have better staff, we have more educated staff, so it's a really great program for them as well. 10 years, I see myself going back to school and maybe work on a master's program or work in getting my education credential. I really think, like I said before, I'm a big supporter of our education. I love to learn, I love to study, and we really see our program expanding. We would think that in 10 years we would probably have another site. We would probably stay small, but with a different side. We like the homey kind of everybody knows everybody, and all the children know the teachers, and it makes people feel like they're welcome and that they're not just a number.